just saw a report, did a little bit of digging. There is tender age centers set up. 3 of them were found in Texas, of course. I'm sure there's some more in Florida right next to Alligator Alley. That holds newborns to 5-year-olds just together. Just throw them all together. Not knowing where their parents are. All of a sudden, literally, they wake up one morning and they don't see anyone they recognize ever again. They're thrown in a room with a bunch of other screaming kids that they don't know by a bunch of what I'm sure is bright white people and, you know, shitlers. Is this the country Republicans actually wanted? Is what you're seeing around us, is seeing 43 million people not get food assistance, whether you believe in the food assistance program or not, whether you believe in any help coming from the government, unless, of course, it's tax subsidies to rich people and billionaires, unless you see everything else as too big a government, unless you see the regulations that were put in place to protect each and every one of us, including the levers of power that the Congress are supposed to be wielding and protecting things like, you know, the backup money for SNAP so people can continue to eat, or medical insurance, you know, for everybody. But you've got to protect the lobbyists, you've got to protect the medical business, and you've got to protect those billionaires that own all these big companies like Jeff Bezos. I mean, come on, when Amazon opens up their distribution centers, the states were literally giving them tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars in breaks, tax breaks, everything else. They don't pay taxes to begin with. So he gets these big things with all these deals, permanent tax cuts, and then a couple of years later fires 3/4 of the people, replaces them with robots like Tesla robots. You know, they got a good contract stuff going. So they're all making money amongst each other, firing human beings, still collecting the tax write-offs for putting that thing there, and no one's stopping the tax breaks from going there. And then you've got this big, beautiful bill that imposes more pain in this country than ever before. And it's all to give tax breaks to rich people. That's it. That's the only reason all this pain is happening. This is the only reason that veterans have been getting kicked off all their stuff since he took office and last time. That's why the homeless are now actually being shipped to concentration camps, very much like the big, you know, tender age centers. So we've got homeless concentration camps that include a bunch of veteran people. You know, those veterans that they're just, you know, Trump loves and protects. And, you know, the same veterans that the Heritage Foundation, if they were disabled and on pension, they would cut off the disability, cut off the family's insurance, and just give them pension for 10 years because that's damn good enough, because Trump will thin skin with the 5 bone spurs and deferment said so. And his billionaire friends that have children between 18 and 24 that will not be included in the mandatory military service that Trump signed in by executive order in the first term. Remember that? Yeah. Thank God, you know, he's the anti-war president. We won't be going to any wars, right? Oh, wait. Venezuela, Israel. How many are we involved in now? How much more do you need to see, Republicans? How much more do you need to feel before you get pissed off, stand alongside us, and get this piece of crap out of office? He's destroying everything this country's about. And by the way, he's using the White House as his own personal garage sale. You know, he took the Resolute desk, one of them, there's a handful of them, and he put one in Mar-a-Lago, an actual White House Resolute desk. Yeah. So his rich buddies who go to the Gatsby parties and spend billions of dollars, $1 million a year to be part of his club, not the executive branch club that's $500,000 a year in Washington that his kids run, or the Rose Garden Club that you got, yeah, all that stuff that you got to pay into. Yeah. He's charging admission to be a freaking dictator, and you guys are okay with it. Pull your heads out of your ass. Reach up that ass, grab both ears, leave the hat up there. That's where it belongs.